you studied a course or you are in an industry that is mostly dominated by men. The construction industry is definitely, as we have said, male dominated.
There was a
But I
particular
used to think
incident.
that it's pretty girl privilege, that you people are having it all good.
So I'm going to take that as a compliment. A lot of people don't understand that pretty girls, in quotes, or fine girls, or whatever, actually always have to work more, because people automatically assume when they see that this one does not really know anything, she's just fine. I'm sure because she's fine, that's why she's here. And they try to deal with you in that manner. I was waiting for 3 hours, and eventually, when we met the MD/CEO, the first thing he said was, look at my CV. Oh, Tosin, I didn't know you were a girl. I didn't know you were a female. Was like, he became disturbed. He immediately, that already even just put a downer on my mood and my countenance. Like, oh, here we go again. There was another guy that came like more than 2 hours after I arrived. He was a QS too. We were both waiting at the reception. So he told I want to join me. It was supposed to be an individual interview, but both of us did an interview together. And I remember I was asking basic questions. So what's the square area? These QS questions. What's the measurement for this hour space? I can tell you that I answered better than that other guy. I'm saying it, I'm putting it out there. I did. I'm a female. They doesn't think something I can do. And because of that, I'd lost a lot of opportunities, because sometimes when I asked for feedback, they were like, oh, we want men. We're not really looking for females now. We want more men.
Hey people, welcome to another episode of Life Moments with Timi. And it has been an interesting week, really. And today I have, obviously, another beautiful guest. How do I put it? Okay, I met Tosin. Give or take, it's been maybe 5 or 4 years. Yeah, 4 years really. But I'll let her to do a proper introduction of herself. So over to you, Tosin.
Hi everyone, my name is Tosin Oganla. I am a
boss.
You can say that again. I am a cost and project manager, quantity surveying. We are also known as cost managers and also project manager. I'm a Christian. I'm
very important.
Very, very important. A child of God. A child of God. Jesus is my personal savior. And
You're saying a personal?
Yes. You know that. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm emphasizing on that. I'm Yoruba. Well, this is for the non-Nigerians, because if you hear my name automatically you know that I'm like Yoruba if you're Nigerian. And I like to read. I like to spend time with myself a lot. I like people. I love kids. I like to make people happy, technically, not literally. So yeah, you can ask me anything you want to know.
So you're welcome to say.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I brought you on this episode is a lot of interesting things about you as a person that I don't think people would generally know. So I want us to see how we can uncover some of the mystery of the person you called Tosin Oganla. And let's take it from there. But first things first, Tosin, how did Tosin Oganla grow up? How was your childhood?
So, you're taking me down memory lane. So my child.
That's where we like that road, memory lane.
So my childhood was sheltered. I had a sheltered childhood, in the sense that we were well guarded. Let me put it that way. Those kind of family where
Get inside.
Exactly. Get inside. And I'm the first of four children, and my childhood. So I was very responsible as a child. I think by option of my position in the family, I I was very very introverted. I don't think I really liked people back then. When I didn't like people coming to visit. It was just a lot of work, and you know, I was a very shy child. As opposed to contrary popular. A lot of people don't believe that. I think I'm still shy a little bit. I was very shy, and I grew up in Lagos and Ogun State, mixture of both. I'm from Abeokuta, in Ogun State. We lived in Ogun State for a while. My primary school was in Jacob Montessori School in Songo and Christoph in Lagos State. And then my secondary school, very interesting time. The first part was in Abeokuta Grammar School. It was a horrible experience. Let me put that out there. In case anybody sees this anyway, it was not a very fantastic experience. To the point that we had to be taken, because I was there with my younger sister. So then we moved to Lagos State. Then I finished my secondary school in Lagos State Model College in Mero. And that was around 2009. Then further for tertiary education, that was Unilag for my first and second degree. Akoka. Great Akokite. Now we did that. Yes. For both first and second degrees, and in quantity survey, that's cost management. So I don't know if I should say my childhood was it was fun to me, but maybe somebody else may not find my childhood as fun, because my childhood was more family. That's when my family bonded. That's when I can say that I really had a relationship with my parents. My dad especially, I'm a daddy's girl, right? It was a lot of everybody spend time in the compound. Our year, my daddy's girl. We used to read together. We used to do everything together as a family. That's why now we are closely knit, and I can say that it started from as we were kids. You know, that sheltered bit, the get inside bit, almost made me antisocial. About being antisocial because of my sheltered childhood. But now, I think I'm a little bit of introvert and extrovert. I had to be intentional from higher institution that no, I cannot be like this. I cannot be timid. It made me timid. It made me somewhat rigid. It made me maybe slightly judgmental, if I remember very well. To be very honest, I'm being honest right now, you know, because I was not really exposed. You know, I didn't really have the exposure, and because I didn't really know how to deal with people as people, you know. And
but you went to boarding, right?
I went to boarding house. That was where probably I even started having friends, and that was probably where I also learned how to even speak my native language, you know. And even because from boarding house, it helped to an extent, but I couldn't keep up even in university. Right, I lost friendships that mattered at the time, and when I look at it, I realized I was the one that really didn't put the effort I should have, put in those friendships. And when I realized that's when I started becoming intentional in university on friendships and people generally. I also plan events too. So because by virtue of planning events, social events especially, and being a cost manager, I started getting to meet a lot of people and having to deal with people, whether I even like it or not. And with the help of the Holy Spirit, I've been able to. I'm doing well in that bit. So I can't say I'm antisocial anymore. I may be shy. People don't really believe that though, but I can be very shy. even
I
if
think I believe that you're shy.
yes, I
I can
am very
believe that
shy.
because eh, I know that a lot of the things are just you're trying to hide from ad guy, but we're
Right,
not.
right, right. Yes, yeah. So
Okay, so
yeah,
now you studied a course or you are in an industry that gives you that is mostly dominated by men.
yes.
How have that been? How have you been able to navigate through that?
In fact, this particular week, this week in particular, has been awesome in quotes because of something like that. And this is something I've had to deal with in the past. How many years now? For almost 10 years actually. Because I mean, I started working in 2016, I finished in 2015, and like you mentioned, it's a male-dominated industry as such, right? And
Meeting with architects,
engineers,
civil engineers,
town planners,
structural engineers, town planners, everything is.
everything. It's largely in my class then, out of a total number of maybe 60, 15 were female, and that's actually a
Wow.
large number. Sometimes you have a lesser. The building departments that builders are lesser women than even quantity surveyors. It's not. It's been an interesting journey so far up to this moment, right? And
Okay.
it's the ride has not really been smooth as such, right? Because at some point in 2018, I almost diversified because of that.
You almost what?
Diversified. I almost went into a completely different. I'm telling you, it's like I've not told you this thing before. I went to write MBA exam. It was that yes.
So take us through what was the
In fact, there was a
I
particular
used to think
incident.
that it's pretty girl privilege that people are having it all good.
So I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you for the compliment. In fact, a lot of people don't understand that pretty girls, in quotes, or fine girls, or whatever, actually always have to work more because people automatically assume when they see that this one does not really know anything, she's just fine. I'm sure because she's fine, that's why she's here. And most, do you understand? And they try to deal with you in that manner. You don't start
True.
using words to try to prove them wrong. You have to show workings. And in so doing,
show workings.
Yes, you have to show
Bring
workings.
value to the table.
Do you understand? And you have to be very astute what you're doing. And with my own field in particular, has to do with costs. It's very, very critical. It's very, very important, right? So because of that, I've had to kind of do more. It's become a part of me, really, because sometimes when you try to have a retrospective, certain period or certain work, realize that you are taking a number of things that you should probably not even be taking on, right? And then you have the male counterparts kind of a bit relaxed because she's gonna do it. She always does it, So I've had to do more than I should because of pretty girl privilege mentality, and also
prove a point.
Yes, she understands. And also, there's a part of the gender discrimination as well in the industry because the construction is quite technical, and because women are not as physically strong as men. I'm not arguing. I'm not denying that, but that does not mean that if a woman wants to try, let her try. That does not mean
Sure.
that a woman should be completely written off. You don't even give her listening ears because she's a woman. But there was a particular place I went to interview in that 2018 that even made me make that decision that I don't think I can do this anymore. I ended up working there for a long time. I was like the main QS in the office posted to the glory of God. But when the interview happened, I remember I was at the reception for hours. I was in a current place where I was working, but I just took a little bit of time off. That time wasn't supposed to have, to be place like that. It shouldn't have gone that long. I was waiting for 3 hours, and eventually, when we met the MD/CEO, the first thing he said was, "Look at my CV. Oh, Tosin, I didn't know you were a girl. I didn't know you were a female." Was like he became disturbed. He immediately, that already even just put a downer on my mood and my countenance. Like, here we go again. He was like, okay, just sit down. There was another guy that came like more than 2 hours after I arrived. He was a QS too. We were both waiting at the reception. So he told I want to join me. It was supposed to be an individual interview, but both of us did an interview together. And I remember I was asking basic questions. So what's the square area? These curious questions. What's the measurement for this hour space? I can tell you that I answered better than that other guy. I'm saying it, yeah, I'm putting it out there. I did, but they were like, okay, you should accept that what the role they want to fill is it was a turnkey project. They needed on-site QS, right? That I'm a female. They doesn't think something I can do, After Timi, you're an architect, and this industry together. You know that we don't need to be the one to carry the head man. We don't need to be the one
But
to
he just felt you were not as rugged.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's a jebota. I don't think it's. Okay. Since he said because you are a lady.
Yes.
So he has already characterized it. I would have said maybe he looked at you and was like, this one is Agrico. This guy is looking at jebota.
No, it wasn't that. And because of that, I'd lost a lot of opportunities because sometimes when I asked for feedback, they were like, we want men. We're not really looking for females now. We want more of men, and got to a point that I did not make mistake like this in doing this course because I took the exam. I took the entrance MBA exam that year at Unilag. I did because it was a lot because I wasn't getting what I wanted in that 2018. Right? Even work roles that maybe 2 years prior would have been okay for me. I didn't mind, but I needed to have certain opportunities. I needed to, progress in this career, but there were tiny restrictions because of this gender discrimination. And but as God will have it, a few months later, they picked that other guy. A few months later, I was called back, the same organization, that they needed me, right? And thankfully, I was there for a while, and I believe my impact was felt tremendously, because we still have a relationship, and that was 2019, 2020, yes, yeah.
So why did you not follow through with the MBA?
So while I didn't follow through with the MBA because while we were awaiting the results, I was still thinking about it. In fact, the MBA thing I can be very impulsive. I need to also mention that, but I'm really working on that bit. Once I commit to something, at that instant, I really want to follow through to it. It has its negative and positive side. So then later after I wrote the exam, I was thinking about it again, and I was also thinking God's face that I don't believe you made a mistake. I don't. It's been all my journey. I was so sure, even in school, that this is what I want to do. This is what I believe you, God, want me to study. Right? Other things may come later, but at this phase right now, I believe it was curious. Initially, I thought I wanted to do architecture. Funny enough. Yes. In secondary school. So, initially, it was a secondary school I wanted to do because I was very good at paper drawing. And as you know, I can draw. So, my limited knowledge at the time, I felt that was enough to read architecture. But QS was my second course of study because I liked maths. I like mathematics, I like
Okay.
calculations, But like at the thing for combined results. Then NECO and WAEC, I did some courses here, so that paid off. I'm glad. I'm glad that I did it because what you guys do, I do not think that it's my no. You guys, you know how you always have to think outside of the box of creativity. Eh, uh, leave me with the calculatory bits. So back to why I didn't follow through. I was not sure. I didn't have that conviction in my heart that it should be MBA. And MBA was very versatile. That was the reason why I was thinking MBA. You can work anywhere with MBA.
Yeah.
Unlike US, where it is streamlined, it limits you to construction industry, basically. And since construction industry is male dominated, it's looking like in this part of the world, for MBA. As an MBA person, if I go to interview for something in the construction industry, I don't think I would receive any gender discrimination because of the role probably I'll be applying as even in the construction industry. I don't know if you get that bit.
No, I get you.
Yeah, yes,
The construction industry is definitely, as we have said, male dominated.
It's male dominated.
But okay, so we've touched on school. We've touched on the fact that you've thrived in the male industry. I want to also touch a bit on your personal life now. When it comes to how has been relationship in Lagos? Let me put it like that. Because everybody has this knowledge of Lagos as being how do they say it? They just used to say there's no love in Lagos. Is there love in Lagos?
I think there's love in Lagos. If you calm down. If you are very open-minded. Yeah. And I'm saying this, I'm talking to myself as I'm saying this.
It's positive confession.
I'm telling you. And I'm saying this, I'm telling myself, calm down. Calm down, honestly, and be open-minded. Because, there was a recent teaching by a mini pastor at Koju. It was I can't remember the topic, and it was trying to make reference to was trying to differentiate the permissible will of God and the perfect will of God. That even if you get the permissible will of God, you're not going to fail. You're a child of God. God will still bless you. Doesn't mean that you would not excel, but but if it's God's perfect will is perfect, it's that permissible will. Yeah, probably even think, oh, this is good, this is fine, oh, God has been faithful, God has been good, and all of that. But it's perfect will. It's maybe times 100, right?
True.
Of that permissible will. Imagine times 100, the elevation, like where actually God wants you to be, at this point in time. But you want this other bit that is not really. So I was trying to differentiate, and it was also trying to make us understand that most times our permissible, God's permissible will, based on our request, is what we've confirmed in our mind from things that we've put in our mind from the past, from maybe when we were a child. You already have a picture of how I would want my husband to look like as a child, so that all those mundane things, or where I would like to live. You realize that sometimes you think you're hearing from God, you're not really hearing from God. You are hearing from your own self, your insight. What at some point in time you feel like this is where you should be. This is what you should have, right? Then he now made an example of Bishop David Oyedepo that I think they had some personal conversations where when they wanted to move the church from not all those para places before they went to Otta, that they are going to Jos. right? Where he had told the congregation at the time that, oh, I'm moving to Jos, right? Jos was not what, I mean, we can say it now. Jos was not where God wanted, really was telling him. But when he was younger, he lived in Jos for a period of time. He liked Jos. The weather was nice, the people were nice. That the place was a lot of natural fruits. Just I think I don't know. I've not lived there before, but so at the time when he was living there, when he was younger, he had said in fact that he will live here. This is where he's going to live. This is where he's going to be with his family. So
that thing has been there.
Yes, that thing has been there. Then the Holy Spirit had to let him know that you need to remember this is the reason why you said just. But that wasn't God's perfect will. It was utter, completely off, and gradual bad and utter because of mistake. So he was trying to let us understand that. Even he was like the whole I don't like anniversaries. I don't do anniversaries. From when he was small, he didn't really like all those things. So from there he was like, I don't do anniversaries. And then he grew up with it. Even in ministry, they will say, oh, it's our 50th anniversary. It's our this. I don't know. They don't do anniversaries. Right. So the reason why I reference that when I portrays the part where I said we need to be more open-minded and calm down. There are a lot of things that we've conformed in our mind as to how we perceive something should look like or something should be, and we're really hard set on looking for that. And whereas that's probably what God wants for you. Even when those things even come, there's still no headway, and you start looking at the other things that you're thinking that, maybe it should be like this. This is the way my husband should come. How can I meet my husband? I'm not a church from small. The people say that church is like the wrongest place to meet people. It's like a hospital. There are a lot of sinners there. All these things.
Go and meet him. Go and carry the club on now.
In club,
and
they're like, those things, and automatically
there's no
you kind
problem.
and automatically you just start looking at churchmen. You don't see them. You refuse to see them because of
in the words
mindset.
of a famous pastor, we don't want to marry them too. Go and marry the one on the street now. Church boys want to marry you too. So
whereas and the Bible says that whose report are we going to believe? We're supposed to believe God's reports, not people's reports, not society reports, not even your own reports. What you think the reports should be. So what I mean, because I'm beginning to have like internal, retrospective that, okay, why didn't I like this person? There was no reason. Maybe I'm talking about
it was like a brother. It was like a brother to me.
This person seems like a very responsible.
Like you want to go and marry your enemy. You brothers own the good one, and you go and date the bad one.
Like there's somebody in particular. I did not reason at all this person. And I don't know honestly what happened. I think I was probably in place of prayer and all of those things. And even in dreams, sometimes I dream a lot. I'll say something, I'm like, no, when I wake up, oh, this person looking for my no. Because I have complete.
What are you looking for?
Do you understand what I'm looking for? I'm not looking for you. What are you looking for there? I've already probably thought, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like, some mundane things, right? Whereas, I'm not giving an example. I did not say that I do not like this. So, because, there are good people out there, right? And, when you have all these things in your mind and everything, the enemy will use it. He will use it to give you. The devil also gives good gifts, but it's only God that gives good and perfect gifts. He will give you good that will look like you think it's from God. So I just believe that there's love in Lagos. There's love in Lagos. I've been loved in Lagos. I loved in Lagos. I'm still here. There's love to give, right? And I just feel like people need to be more open-minded and calm down. Calm down. It's not supposed to be that deep. Get to know people, put them for who they are. talk, share values. Then from there you would know those are the things that should really be important, right? Belief, faith. What is both of you's perception on these things? Of course, first of all, physically they have to appeal to you, before, right? But it's I mean, my parents are together. Been together for a long time. They have a fantastic relationship, right? And my mom is not the way she used to look like when my daddy first met her, and vice versa. But they still have a friendship. Our family is standing strong. I believe, apart from the fact that the third cord in the family is God, I believe they have other things that transcend the physical. Shared values, especially shared values, shared outlook to what family should be, raising kids to be. I don't think there's really any time where we've openly seen where both of them disagreed on we their kids as such. If mommy says something, daddy has said it. If daddy says something, mommy has said
So
it.
they have this sync together.
Yes, So I believe those things are the things that really should drive relationships everywhere in Lagos in particular. But then this Lagos, there's love, but it's still a bit gangster. You need to be smart. You need to be smart. You need to be wise. There are a lot of I think it's everywhere. You should not be caught. Let me say on fresh. You should not be caught on ready. Let me just put it that way. Or else.
See now already.
Already, that's the word that. I'm sure there's because the slogan is never to be caught on fresh, but that does not. Fresh does not apply, but like. You should be able to be ready.
Never to be caught already.
Already. That's the way I say that, So
already how?
Already. Like you should always be ready. Never to be caught unguarded. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, unguarded.
Yes.
Let me.
Oh yes, I think that's more. That's people unguarded. These places like gangster paradise. People are being honest, right? But
Okay.
I believe gangsters to also show love to who they show love to, and they receive love from who is really to give them love, But if you are slacking, you'll be taken advantage of. That's
True.
it. You'll be taken advantage of. There are a lot of abnormalities that has been made normal in this age and time.
In the dating pool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a lot because I'm a believer of you can only hope when in a situation that has to do with another human being, because you can only control what you do. You can't control what somebody else does.
Yeah, but okay, you said a lot, but I want to know, where do we now put the leading of God when it comes to relationships?
It's very important.
Or do God not lead people now in this season?
I believe God leads people. I still say it. I believe so. If you calm down and listen to Him, calm down, listen to Him. You need to also calm down.
So the calm down self is part of listening to God.
Yes, it's part of it too. Because it's the Holy Spirit that will help you to know that you need to work on your mind. You need to be more open-minded. Tosin, why are you always inside your house? Is man going to come and meet you at your door and say, hello, I think God sent me to you. I have this, imagination and stuff. And sometimes that, you read, I think I went back recently. I went back to in recent times. I've been hearing strategic positioning, and I'm like, relationship, and then Spirit is leading me to the story of Ruth, the story of Esther. Those are examples of strategic positioning, and I believe that a union, God is the foundation of marriage, right?
Yeah.
And a marriage founded on God is It's supposed to be purposeful. It's not just you and somebody love each other coming together. There's a purpose that marriage is supposed to serve. You don't know as kingdom marriage is in quotes, right? You know, so you need to kind of get it right if you want that purpose to be fulfilled. That's why I believe it. That's why I say it, right? Roots. I mean, we know the lineage of Christ, and we know the impact Esther's positioning in the palace, what it did to the children of God back then. God doesn't make mistakes with his own people, right? So back to listening to God. So I've been hearing that, and I'm like, actually, and I realized that okay, I need to do more. I need to be more out there, positively, right? Why am I always hanging out? I have a lot of because of my industry. I have a lot of male friends, very good, fantastic human beings in the opposite gender.
Your brothers doing on them.
No, that's not brother zone. We have mutuals. Even you are my friend. So like sometimes when I want to hang out, let's hang out. Let's go and see a movie. Why am I going out to see a movie with my male friends now? What happened to my female friends that were both single? Well, because if I'm always hanging out with my guy friends, it would be hard for any guy to kind of like want to approach me. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. My friend just started opening to those things that you need to check yourself. In church, smile more. I love kids. I'm in children's department. That's why you probably see my kids every time when I'm with kids or with my own people. But because my natural persona based on feedback, when I'm working, I'm always working with straight face or whatever,
So you are difficult to approach. People have said. Do you think you intimidate guys?
Yes, I've been told. It's not like I take feedback. I mean, I had counseling. I've had counseling before, and my counselor gave me that kind of feedback, and I'm like, this is serious.
You don't intimidate. I mean, the guy itself, he don't get. But honestly, I mean, maybe I can understand.
Yeah,
When it comes to, but have you, like me, when I was thinking of dating and getting married, I always knew that I would marry my friend. And when I say I will marry my friend, and I always had this belief that my wife is always around me. I don't believe that God will put you in a space where He doesn't cater for all those things. Most times when God wants to meet a need, God brings you into a relationship. You're looking for a job. You'll be surprised that He brings you into a relationship that brings that connection. A lot of times He brings you into a relationship when He wants to. And I don't believe that marriage is also alien to that. You see God bringing people into relationships. You started rolling with this girl. She had an elder brother. You started rolling with this girl. She has a very good friend. Or you went to see her work. You met somebody. Relationships, church, and all that. So, but I've noticed that a lot of ladies do this thing that you are, which is okay. You are quick to friend zone somebody. There is friend zone that you friend zone him and you press him down. That the guy, before you know, you just say, see, this girl, let me just make her my G. She's my guy. And once you have entered that zone of guy zone, there is no you are permanently it's a permanent residence most times. So I think a lot of ladies do that. Maybe immediately the guy maybe doesn't tick a particular box, you just push him into G zone and you take him there. And now most guys in the G zone most times had liked you in a way of a relationship before, but they did not want to maybe lose the friendship, and they just said, oh, if she says that's how she wants it, let me stay. It's few guys that maybe have the courage that now take it beyond that and maybe try his luck. And maybe when he tries his luck, you are like, Kilo share, you be my guy, Joe. And you return him into the bottomless pit of the of the guy's zone. And he can't come out again. That one, he has, once you just say Kilo share, you be my brother now.
Yeah.
Baba knows that there's no road, as it were.
Yeah.
So I think friendship, looking at friends too. Well, have you had a friend approach you before that you guys were cool?
That was cool?
I think that's the wrong question. How many of your friends have approached you?
As you were saying, that's why I was laughing, because I can say that more than 60% of my male friends, that was how they all kind of liked me in a relationship manner before the friend zoning thing happened. Yes.
They became
so
your
yeah,
friend.
right. Yes. Then okay, we'll do it with friendship. That's that's one of the reasons why I mentioned to people to be more open-minded. To be very honest.
Because if you friend zone your husband, you don't. Because I
Yes, I can imagine how they
I think it's a thing to say. A lot of ladies friend zone their husbands, and when you friend zone him, maybe because of a standard or something, you're not even hearing from God at that point. And God also gives those guys the courage to take it further, to try as much as possible to communicate his intentions, because most guys would not, and just say, and if you, I was discussing with somebody, I think it's on one of the episodes, and he was talking about courage to follow your purpose. A lot of people know what God has told them, but at the end of the day, they didn't have the courage to follow through. And that's why they didn't fulfill it. Not because they didn't know, but that courage of doggedness to follow through. There are few guys that once you don't say no, you don't move on, because it's maybe shy, it's fear of rejection. It's very few guys that are saying, that can look you in the eye and say, Tosin, I will not mind being your friend, but I want more. And if you are ready, let me know. Go and pray about it. I've prayed about it. I think you are the person. They don't even know that something like that is attractive. That something like that, like, why is he feeling himself? And it's attractive, but they don't know. They don't want it. They are trying, and you too, you are giving them that look, and they will not be like, see, I don't even want the stress. And let's move on.
I completely agree with you. I'm not even going to. I agree 100%.
Okay, so have you been friend zoned before by somebody that you thought was a potential?
Yes, so it's not only men that get friend zoned. Yes. I believe everybody has had fair share or a little bit of taste of all of these things, situationships per se. Yeah.
Okay,
when I was
so
much younger.
Are you a proponent? You were talking about something about positioning.
Yeah.
Positioning, repositioning, and all that. Are you a proponent of a lady asking a guy out, or how do you suggest that a lady puts herself out there in terms of positioning? Because the things you were characterizing your positioning was like smile more,
being in the right place,
go out more often, being in the right place. But what if the guy is there and is not looking your way, and you have prayed, maybe you feel convinced he is? How do you handle that kind of situation?
That's why I was friend zoned now. That was where friend zoned is.
So you could not even handle it.
Obviously, I liked this person, in certain manner, but the person didn't like me in the same manner, right? And
did you have a conversation with him?
There's no direct, but we were friends. I mean, there was a friendship, right? I mean, we used to talk. So from gist, from conversations, when now there's a funny, how people talk where um like they don't even see you in that space. You are making references to. I mean, I like you.
And but some guys do it on purpose because he's not sure how you feel. Maybe your green light, he wasn't seeing your green light well, so he too was putting up like a red light, like it was for me hard guy too. You'll be surprised.
Nah,
And that's what I'm telling you,
I
that
think
there are
the
a lot
one here. Here you can continue.
yeah, there are a lot of guys that feel that type of way. They are like, they don't want the disrespect, they don't want the rejection.
Rejection, yeah.
So they are okay to live with the friend. So they would act as though they don't like you, act as because they think you don't like them.
I think that scenario is not very it's not very usual with me. I can say that the one time that I've been, like, I know that I was friend zoned. Like, there were conversations of relationships, and it's a case of, oh, I don't really think, we're in that space like that. I really want to focus on things, like, like I really value our friendship. Okay, I like you. Why can't you just date? That was like when
I don't want to lose this friendship.
And then in like some other time, we are probably gisting about some girl. Obviously, that was enough to know that, okay, all right. Yes, but in other, like what you said, that there was a woman, does she ask, or does she, what's the other thing now? Give a green light.
How does she give the green light?
I'm not an advocate of going to go and meet a man and saying that, hey, I like you first. I am not. Because, first off, I think men handle rejection better than women. I think they handle it better than women. And
so how do you think a woman should give the green light? Be more accessible. Be more accessible. Be more forthcoming too. You don't need to say it. If the guy is on the same wavelength as you, he will pick it up. Right? I'm always present. I'm always available to talk when you want to talk. I also want to talk to you. Why am I talking to you all the time if I don't really like you like that? I could be spending that time talking to other people. You should be emotionally intelligent to know.
Did you understand? And maybe
if you are not emotionally intelligent to know, then it's like maybe we are not even supposed to be
at a wavelength, because my past relationships, or majority, metamorphosed from friendship.
You get to the point that you now say, what are we?
No, not what are we. I can reply on the Tarawan and they officialize it. From because
you just cross the barrier.
Exactly.
And you are just dating.
You just realize that.
Say, so we are dating now, right?
Yes, you just realize that. Okay. Yeah, by the time you start, so meet my girlfriend, all those things. By the time you start, from friendship, because the friendship phase, there was a lot of communication. There was a lot of, doing things together, hanging out, there was a lot of always communication. You just realize that you're always talking to this person every time. And you realize that, you cannot go a day without talking to this person. And from friendship, you get to know each other very well. Because then you're not really dating. Then you're more open with my friend. You know things that on normal dating you would probably not know. And then it's from friendship, when there's good communication as well, that you kind of know, we kind of think alike, we have shared values, that's when you know that we share the same, we can talk about the same view, we can talk about Bible, we can be on the same wavelength, we can talk about it, we can, it's from there we all know the kind of values we want for ourselves, our future, family is supposed to be, or certain basic things. And from conversations, you realize that, we actually click. And you realize that you start liking these people more because of these things. You realize that, they stand out because of these things. oh, this is the reason why I like, he does this, he thinks this way is very intelligent, his perception on politics, all those things are probably, from there, just metamorphose, and you start realizing that, oh, you guys are spending longer time on conversations, on phone calls or texting, and before you start knowing, you start calling each other endearing names, you start going to family functions together,
Start wearing
introduction,
ashwabi.
you just realize that we are already talking future together. We are
Okay.
meeting each other's um, what matter, right? Church family or family, you know. Yeah, so
So have you liked someone before that asked you out and you prayed about it and you got it?
yes. Not
That he asked you
for,
out and you
yeah,
wanted to say yes, but you prayed about it and you got no.
yeah, more like not like I heard audible no, but you know that, oh, this is not what
No,
God is saying.
obviously,
Yeah,
I'm just saying that you know
yes,
that God doesn't
yes,
want this to work.
yes, yes, because with the spirit, God is not the author of confusion.
True.
I've been saying this a lot to some people that are very close to me, right? And I've been in situations where, in hindsight now, there were a lot of red flags. I wasn't saying it at a point in time, and I really desired, a relationship with this particular person, right? And they also, oh, okay, but there was just, and I was also in the place of prayer. I mean, it's also my waiting period too, right? But there was just not this peace that was coming with it, and I realized I started turning the prayer point to like, God, what is it? This guy is taking it. He's your child now. I like him now. It will be
It's
easier
your
for me.
child.
It will
Is
be
it
easier
not your
for me.
son? It's your son now.
He's
I'm your
responsible. He's
daughter.
well brought up now. This is what I think I want to. And this is what we get each other very well. We wish fast together now. And I'm like, but there's this disturbance.
When I needed prayer, he held my hand. He prayed.
When no, we would not do that one, but you know what I mean. Right? We share the same faith. We align on so many levels, right? We do business together, a lot of things, but there was just always a disturbance, an unsettled feeling, especially when I pray, right? Because when I pray, and when I say amen, I'm going to the position of rest. That's what has helped me, and I expect peace to follow, and I expect certain kind of, when you have a certain desire, maybe like an exam or something, you pray and you leave it in God's hands, and God has answered, God has taken care of. Just do your own bit, God has, blessed it, right? But in this case, no. Anytime I prayed, it was like I needed to pray more. It was like Spirit telling me, open your eyes. Like, no. There's a reason why I've tried over time to listen to my intuition, and try to really apply the spirit of discernment a lot of times. You know how it is, like when you really like somebody, you really like, because sometimes feelings are not mutual for me. Somebody really likes me, but I don't like me. But this one is looking like it's the same, but there was a disturbance.
Emotions are flying about.
There was not a settlement in my spirit, and me personally, there are ways where I see sign even in dreams, right? And I started desiring to see sign that normally naturally would have come. I started kind of positioning my mind to like, oh, I must see sign. I have to see sign. Why am I not saying sign? Why am I saying what? Like those signs should have even come normally. I should have even been looking for it, based on experience and based on how I know God used to do each other. But so there was no peace. There was no peace inside of me. There was no peace. And, there was unsettlement. There was There was no peace. There was no. At some point, the spirit just told me, start asking for God's will. Tell God that whether this or not, do your thing.
It's your will I want, not
Yes.
you're
That
not.
I know that, God, I know that you see my heart desires, right? I mean, the word of God discerns even
I like this person, but I want your will more.
Do you understand? Then at that point in time, I start becoming more aware the spiritual heart was very important for me. That's God's will. I cannot afford to make mistake. Did I say I like this person, but and then at that point in time, I now start seeing things. You thought that I thought we were on this level, and then things start popping up almost, things start popping up. A lot of like things that you should say, okay, this is it. Well, this is enough response that I need, despite the fact that feelings were involved. At those points in time, the spirit is letting me know that you have to be very logical. You have to think with your head. You have to think. It's not when you apply wisdom. Look at this thing. Does it look normal? Like they say that woman in love or whatever is that the others give advice or whatever. I can tell that love was involved, but the spirit kept going hard. There was no peace. I didn't feel there should have been peace. It was not problematic as such. It's not like but there were red flags that I was not seeing. I refused to see.
You are blind.
But still,
Emotions.
I kind of just knew that. So some things now started unraveling, and I knew that no, this is not what God wants for me. I knew it.
When there's a lot of emotions flying about, one way that I've understood of how to handle the situation is that you take out time. Because you are hearing your senses, you are hearing your emotions, you take out time. That's where a fasting is good. 3 days, you take out time, maybe go to a remote place where tell him to give you a time and just go and listen to just the Holy Spirit during that period. Take time to immerse yourself with the things of God during that period and ask him. You will be surprised. But people, the discipline, I think there's the fear not to know too. Some people don't want to know. Once you get to that point that you don't want to know, you are already feeling like it is no. So you don't even want to know.
You don't want to accept.
You're already running on funny lane. Bro, I can't. The relationship is a different dynamics. So finally, I think we've touched on a lot, but finally, I just want to do this so that we can wrap up.
Yeah.
So, if there was one thing that you wanted to tell the world, and you had the opportunity to tell everybody in the world, imagine everybody was listening, what would you say?
Just very well. Please. God is very merciful. He's very merciful and he's very kind. I cannot imagine. I'm not even sounding religious right now. Sometimes when I say these things amongst colleagues or wherever I find myself, it always seems like you're being religious, sounding religious. No.
It's life. It's you being spiritual. It's who you are.
I cannot take it. It's a part of me. I cannot take it out of me.
You're not for me. Yeah.
Do you understand? We cannot do life without God in every area. You think you can? See, the way you just be tossing you know when a wind is tossing something up and down, up and down, when the wind does that, and purposeless, you think you're not fulfilling anything. You are empty. That's me, honestly. Even sometimes when I'm not even in a very hot spiritual space, right? I'm just my spirit is very aware that you need to talk to God. So because I know that I cannot do life without God, we cannot do life without God. Life without God is meaningless. It's It's a life with God that will let you know that you have purpose, even if things may be looking funny, because you have rest and assurance in God. I mean, like me now, I have my friends, people that close to me, like, oh, you're very strong. You always have this strong, this thing. How do you do it? How do I do it? Okay. I have a
It's
bad
easy.
thing.
It's easier. He's God.
And sometimes I always have to, I will not say it like, look, don't push. Well, spiritual, yes, it's part of who I am, but I need to understand I'm talking from experience here. I may be young, but I've gone through some things.
You have mileage.
I have mileage in experience of life.
In the experience of
I've
life.
gone through some things that should break people, that should have maybe go south. But I can tell you that it was God. In fact, one somebody very, very close to me, very recently, was sharing something with me, something I was very aware of before. And, the thing came back to her. She started questioning herself. Started, like, I wish if I look back now. In fact, I almost started getting angry in my spirit. Because she's a fellow child of God like I am. No, you cannot be feeling like, why are you feeling like this? First of all, did you not believe that God has forgiven you? Like, did you believe that time when you prayed? Like, yes, or there's no reason I should be feeling this way. There's an experience, a very bad experience that I have, right? That I've shared with maybe no more than 2 or 3 persons in this whole wide world. At that point, the Spirit just told me, share this with her. It was similar to what she was feeling guilty
going through at that time.
Yeah, going through from. This is something I've after years ago. I just positioned the camera. I was like, do you know this has happened? This happened. She was like, no. Oh my God. Why did you tell me I was not there? This. And I was like, I don't need all of that. I'm very fine. I'm very okay. And I told her, I said, look, first of all, we are both spiritual. She knows that. We definitely talk about Bible and all of these things. I said, I'm not even capping right now. It was the Spirit. It was God that helped me. It was God that helped. This strong persona that you are saying that, oh, you are strong. It's not me. I am not the one.
It's God.
It's God. Sometimes, I'm unmarried, I'm doing well in my career, and so I've heard some certain conversations that, maybe this, and I'm like, I'm not moved though. What say I say into your pocket? I'm not moved. I'm not supposed to be moved. I'm not moved. I know my source. I know my backing. I'm not moved. If a disappointment happens now, I'm okay. On to the next one. Glory be to Jesus. God is going to do it again. We cannot do life without. Honestly, we cannot do life without God. Jesus Christ, in particular.
Exactly. Thank God that I wanted to say that.
In particular,
Jesus Christ. You can't do life without Jesus Christ.
Our Savior.
No, we don't hide it. We don't hide who we believe and what we believe. We believe in Jesus Christ. If you have a problem with it, check yourself.
Yes.
That's what we believe.
Yeah.
And that's who we. So
that's what we represent.
I think that's a great note to end this conversation.
Yes.
And I want to thank you, Tosin, for taking our time.
You're welcome.
To be here. It's always a joy talking to you, because most times when we talk, it's more like a define. There's always something to get out of the conversation.
Yes.
And that's good. Thank you all for joining us on today's episode of Life Moments. It's Timi, and I still remain Oluwa Timilenya Yekiton, and I can't wait for what you have in store for you next week. Thank you. See you, and have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tosin.
You're welcome.
Tosin, that was a good one.